Yes, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back to Real Reds Talk. This is your pre-match build-up for the game between Manchester United and Aston Villa at Old Trafford. And the lineups are out. We did have some early team news, but with tech issues, we only just managed to go live now. So the lineup is, we have Højlund, Rashford, and Garnacho as your front three. So Marcus Rashford on the right-hand side, we believe. The midfield is obviously the huge talking point because, after about 5-6 weeks, however long it's been, probably a lot longer, McTominay is not in the midfield. So it's going to be Bruno Fernandes, Kobe Mainoo, and Christian Eriksen. So you're like, oh my God, he's actually not starting. I don't know what's going on. They might have had a fallout. Fuck knows. Who knows at this point. But McTominay doesn't start, which I think a lot of people were pushing for. If you watched the last video we did on our TikTok or socials, whatever, we was talking about how he keeps persisting with his midfield with Scott McTominay. And when he doesn't score, he's basically a ghost in that midfield. Like, we have no control in the game whatsoever. So to have Eriksen, Mainoo, and Bruno, you would like to think in terms of ball retention, it's going to be far better. In terms of possession, trying to keep hold of the ball, it's going to be far better, right? Not even just that creativity-wise. You give it Christian Eriksen, he has that vision to play a ball in behind, to link up play. McTominay isn't really that kind of guy. He just kind of, he's really good at bombing late into the box and scoring, but he hasn't scored since Chelsea, was it? I think. I can't remember. We haven't scored in so long. I can't remember the last game it was when McTominay scored. So, look, today's game going to be obviously extremely, extremely tough. Aston Villa are a very good side. I'm going to dive into them as a team, as a unit, what they're good at, individual players, 1v1, blah, 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 all that kind of stuff. I'm going to dive into that. But just a couple of early Boxing Day stats for you to try and get the juices flowing, to try and feel a little bit positive about this game, because I imagine every single person who's watching this live right now is probably feeling a little bit negative in terms of how we've been playing recently, and rightfully so, by the way, because we have been absolutely dog shit. So I'm going to try bring a few stats to ease the mind. Probably won't work, but it is what it is. So the last time we lost on Boxing Day was 1978. 1978. So, like I said, not to worry, we're going to win this easy. United have not gone 5 games without scoring since February and March 1981. Okay? So there's a couple of stats there to boost you up. People are probably thinking, I don't give a shit about stats. We're still going to lose anyway. But there it is. I'm just going to repeat the lineup for people that are joining. So we've got Andre Onana in net, as you can see on the screen behind me. Aaron Wan-Bissaka, Rafael Varane alongside Johnny Evans with Onana in net. You've got Diallo at left back. So no Luke Shaw, because Luke Shaw is out. It's just a minor injury. I don't know what it is. Same with Amrabat as well. He's missing. Then in the midfield, we've already spoken about Mainoo, Eriksen, and Bruno Fernandes. And then you have Rashford, Højlund, and Garnacho on the left-hand side. So what do we think about that? How do we feel about that team? And also, just as a whole, before you even saw that team, what is the most you would give us in this? Is anyone saying a draw? Was anyone saying we're going to win regardless? Was anyone saying we're going to lose? Talk to me, and I'll read out some comments right now, yeah? So Charlie Marmon's in the chat saying lineup is out. Yeah, been through that. Jamie McGrong saying, easy, Nick. Big up to you, Jay. Hope you're good, mate. Charlie Marmon saying he must have seen Scotty heat map from last game. It's the worst I've ever seen from a midfield player ever. I haven't seen that personally, but I'll take your word for it. Eriksen and Mainoo defensive midfielders, Bruno ahead of them. This could be a very smart move. Well, this move should have been made about 10 weeks ago, if not longer, right? It's just, people have never made sense of this midfield kind of thing that he keeps, sticking with. And Ten Hag's a very stubborn coach, a very, very stubborn coach. I was just saying about Burnley next. I was watching the Burnley game in Liverpool, and Company keeps trying to play this way. He's got his philosophy. He wants to stick to it, and that's all good and everything. But when you need points on the board, sometimes you need to switch it up. And I'm not relating us to Burnley saying we are Burnley. I'm just saying in terms of management, like Ten Hag can be stubborn sometimes. This time he switched it up. Let's see if we can get a result from that decision that's being changed. Because I think Mainoo, Eriksen, and Bruno, on one hand, is going to be much better in possession. On the other hand, I look at their midfield like, and this is going to sound, a little bit counterproductive, but I look at their midfield like Douglas Luiz, John McGinn, these kind of guys, and I'm sat there thinking they're very physical, they work very hard, and they could get overrun, because that has been Christian Eriksen's issue on the other side of things, the flip side of things, defensive and transitional work. He isn't great on it. He's not the best. So, I don't know. It's kind of, I feel like people will be moaning after the game that, why didn't Scott start? Because he's obviously physical, runs about and everything. But I'd much rather have a footballing brain on the pitch, to be honest with you. That's our options that we've got. Who else are you going to bring into that midfield? Like I said, Amrabat, for what whether people like him or not, isn't available either way. So it was literally Eriksen, Mainu, Scott, Bruno. They're like the four midfield, and then obviously you could throw Hannibal Mejbri in there as well, but he's not going to start because he hasn't started for a long, long while. So I'm interested and intrigued to see how this game will go. I know Aston Villa have a few players out themselves. I know Kamara is still suspended, I think. Yuri Tillemans isn't available. There was a couple more who were available. Pau Torres, I think, as well, wasn't available. So they're missing a couple of players, but the ones who have been really informed, like your McGinns and your Douglas Luizes and your Ollie Watkins and Diabys and these guys, who, again, like I said, I'm going to touch on a little bit later for the pre-match build-up, but they worry me. They really, really worry me, to be honest with you. There's a lot of people worried about Eriksen in the comments, to be honest. A lot of people mentioning that, that's fine. Anthony, there's question marks about that, innit? You signed an 85 million quid player, and now you're playing Marcus out of a position on the right, and out of form Marcus Rashford on the right-hand side, to fill in for him. You got to be sat there as Ten Hag's main signing, thinking, oof, do you know what I mean? It's a bit mad. It's a bit mad. People saying the Villa badge is wrong. I know it's a circle one. Deal with it. It is what it is. Don't mind. What did we take from the last game as well? The West Ham fixture. Is this? I don't know if this is the can that I brought in, or if this is. Where have I put my can? Is that my can? I don't know. No idea. We'll take it anyway. Yeah. What are we thinking about the West Ham fixture? Is there anything to take away from that whatsoever? Because Ten Hag, after the game, came out obviously in the post-match press conference and said that it was a controlled performance. We played really well, but didn't take our chances. Would you agree with that assessment? And would you agree with that assessment? Did you think he was talking absolute bollocks? Because I had to admit after it, I was like, well, they didn't. I kind of half agreed with him and half didn't. They didn't really do anything for 70 odd minutes. But then I don't know if that was a case of him just not playing well, West Ham, and then that goal kind of sparked him into life, or if it was just us kind of controlling the game. I think it was a little bit of both, to be honest with you. Like I said, Garnacho had a massive chance in that game, and he had another massive chance in the Liverpool game. If he takes both of them, I'm not blaming this solely on Garnacho, but if he takes both of them goals, you might be in a different situation. The games could have gone differently. So that has been an issue with us for ages. I mean, I don't know if anyone watched the Nottingham Forest. Obviously, it's Boxing Day, so a lot of people have been watching football for the majority of the day. I'm just going to take it as that. But Ante Elanga, I think, scored again today or got an assist. And now he has more goal involvements than all of our attackers. So that tells you where we're at in terms of output from the forwards. Like, obviously, Højlund still yet to score. That guy is going to make a reappearance after the game if he doesn't say, Højlund, I know you can do this, bro. And then does a tutorial from 2 foot away. You're like, Jesus Christ, man. Yeah. So Højlund's still yet to score in the Premier League. Antony obviously isn't starting this game, but he hasn't got a goal or assist in fucking God knows how long. For 85 million quid as well. That is horrendous, by the way. Garnacho, maybe lacking a little bit of confidence in front of goal at the moment. I think the last time he scored, was it Galatasaray? Maybe. Again, could be wrong, but that's the last time I remember him scoring. It was quite a good goal as well, in fairness. So, yeah, they need to start taking chances. And God, do we need Marcus to start playing how he was last season. Jesus Christ, we need him to start scoring. Everyone's saying Højlund first goal tonight. I don't see it. I don't see it. If anyone's seen them stats, and I know some people aren't necessarily stat people, but if anyone has seen them stats in regards to how many times the wingers have passed the ball into Højlund, it's absolutely ridiculous. I think it was in 5 games, they made 5 passes to him. How on earth, if you're a striker, are you supposed to score if no one is providing service to you whatsoever? I think he had a couple of tough games. I'll admit he wasn't at his best. In the Bayern Munich game, he got bullied by Kim Min-jae up in Meccano. In the Liverpool game, he struggled, trying to physically deal with Van Dijk and Konate, who are absolute monsters as well. So he struggled a little bit in them games. He hasn't been perfect, but I can see he has a nose for goal. He knows the positions, what to take up. But he seems to, do you know an Ultimate Team when you have them red lines, joining as well? It just seems like that in a minute. Garnacho, Antony, and Højlund don't have that relationship. So I'm hoping, I think Rashford, out of all the players, ironically, has been the one who's provided him the most So Rashford starting on the right-hand side, maybe there's a bit of thought from the coach on that, saying, drill them crosses low, get at him. They haven't got a couple of players. They're out with a couple of players. So maybe, I don't know. I don't know what. He had to shake it up, somehow, didn't he? Because his stubbornness hasn't got him anywhere this season. So, yeah, I'm a little bit more positive with that team. I think for me, I thought it was going to be McTominay again. I thought that potentially might be Camboire again, although Camboire wasn't awful. It was just the fact of we had no Varane. You obviously want Varane in there, so I'm happy to have Varane back. The low at left back is a mad one because I've seen him against Arsenal. He was really, really good. I think the last game he played at left back, he was good, but then I've seen him have some fucking shockers at like Copenhagen and stuff. So I never know what to get from Diallo on that left back spot. So hopefully he has a good game. Obviously he doesn't trust Reguilon going in there because Reguilon's on the bench, I believe. So yeah, I think there's a lot of interesting talking points heading into this. I mean, Villa will definitely be licking the lips at this one. You can't not, because we're like a wounded animal at the moment. And the way Villa are moving, I'm going to get onto their statistics very, very shortly. But yeah, Rafael Varane's back in. I wanted to see if Ahmad's on the bench. I don't know if Shreyas or Dan are in the chat. Let me know the subs bench and let me know if Ahmad's on there, because I'd be interested to see him get some minutes as well, because he's naturally obviously a right winger. Bit more of a creative player. He's not on the bench as Jarlett. Oh, that's devastating. Gutted. Absolutely gutted, man. I want to see him get some minutes today. Well, maybe next time then. I don't know who else is on the bench, but I'm not expecting it to be anything special, because I've had a look at the past couple of weeks. It's just, you look to it, you're like, who the fuck do you bring? Palistri? Like, it's we don't have anything to bring off that's a factor where you're like, maybe like, if Aston Villa against tired legs, they could bring on a Leon Bailey or someone like that, someone who can cause problems 1v1. I don't see that from us. So we've got Reguilon, Camboire, Go, Hannibal, McTominay, Donny, Palistri, and Anthony on our bench. Like, it's just that's a weak bench. That is like the C team in PE when they've picked all the players and it's just kids left and they've gone, right, C team is the name that I've just mentioned. So I'm not looking forward to that. I think tactically it's going to be fascinating in terms of how it plays out, because, for all intents and purposes, we had the most possession against West Ham. I believe it was like 65% possession, but we did fuck all with it. Possession means nothing. And I think equally, Aston Villa will be happy to have 35% possession, because when they get the ball and when they move it and when they play it into the likes of Watkins and Diaby, and they have a field day. So they could really murder us without possession. They don't need any of that. So if we're going to have the emphasis on possession, which I believe we want to with the players that we've put out there, I'm not saying we will, then, you need to be smart about it. You can't be giving it away in stupid situations, which we do a lot. And you need to be clinical as well. And that's asking a lot for a Manchester United team who are currently like 8th. So I don't know. I really, really don't know what to expect from this. There is a bit of talk about Dave Brailsford from INEOS being there at the game today. I think Simon Stone reported it. James from the Muppeteers as well. A friend of the channel reported it. So obviously he's going to be watching on and probably watching a pile of shit that we have been all season. But I think the stuff that's starting to come out now since the Ratcliffe thing has been announced, I think is interesting. We dropped a video, by the way, on our YouTube channel, Real Reds Talk, for people on TikTok. INEOS 10-step plan. If you want to know what the plan is when they come in, what they want to do, all the specifics, all the details are on that video. It's a really good video. I'm saying that I've done it myself, so it's like me going, it's a really good video, you should watch it. Sounds very egotistical, but I'm just saying I did a lot of research into it. So if you want to check that out, please do. But Dave Brailsford is going to be at the game watching on. So I think that's interesting. I think the stuff coming out about the stadium as well, saying that they've been advised to knock it down. I mean, who's advising them? Is it the people who are going to be building it? Because if they knock it down, they're going to make billions. So of course they're like, do you know what? I'd probably knock it down. Yeah, I would probably knock it down, and I would probably spend 1.5 billion quid on a new stadium. That's what I'd probably do. Yeah, I think that's probably the best option, isn't it? I don't know who's advising them, but they're saying knock Old Trafford down, build a new stadium. I don't know how you lot feel about that. For me personally, I don't want to knock Old Trafford down, modernize it. For me, personally, that would be my preference. But Everybody's different in it. Some people would just be happy to get a new, like a Tottenham Stadium, state of the art, and just completely forget. But I think that stadium has held so many memories and means a lot to the fans that just knocking it down wouldn't be the right option for me personally. So, yeah, I'm not sure. MUFC 1 says, better bench if Rashford was on it. Charlie says, those who will get minutes are Scott Anthony, maybe Palestra, maybe Campbell, and Regulon will get a few minutes also. Shreya saying, you expect anything from Rashford today? If we don't put in a positive performance tonight, Tenag will be under heavy pressure. Absolutely, he will. INEOS won't really be a thing until February earliest. What happens if Jim does not get approval to be an owner? Well, yeah, they're still awaiting the test from the Premier League, aren't they, to pass that? I think they will. I know there's a little bit confusion in regards. Is my mic on? Yeah, I'm just double checking. I know there's a little bit of confusion in regards to Europe because Nice are going to be in the Champions League, but that won't matter anyway because we ain't going to be in the Champions League, so it's irrelevant to us personally. But yeah, they still need to pass the test. I think they will. I don't think they'll go through all this headache and then not pass it. So yeah, I'm not saying they're going to come in. We're going to spend 300 million quid in January and then we're going to spend loads of money. It's not going to happen like that. Obviously, it's going to take a while, a couple of years, really, until you start to see a real significant change. I mean, the people who've already moved on, we've got no more Richard Arnold, no more Ed Woodward, and no more John Murtaugh, of rumours to believe. He's going to be the next one that goes. So if you look at our failure over the past 10 years, these guys have been the spearhead of it. They've been horrendous in terms of recruitment, organization, everything to do with the club. They've been terrible. So moving them on is a start. And then the people that you want to bring in, you talk about Jean-Claude Blanc, the resume that this guy has, when he was at Juventus, when he was in the financial shit and had all that stuff for the scandal, and then brought them back to financial stability and back to success again, winning titles. And then equally with PSG as well. Saw PSG win like over 50 trophies, I think it was. Obviously with significant investment as well. So yeah, I think he's the right guy to bring in. He's like top of the chain expert in that kind of level. Perfect, right? The next one, Dave Brailsford, question marks again, because this guy is, he's been successful in other sports. He's been successful in, I think, sailing and cycling and these kind of things. But football is a completely different situation, right? I'm just going to pause this thought for a sec because I've just seen Liverpool have scored again, right? I have a bet on Liverpool to win 2-0 and 2 players to get booked. Someone tell me, please, if Charlie Taylor, or whatever his name is, has been booked. Because if he has, I won 200 quid. So anyone who I trust in the chat, tell me. I've got Liverpool to win 2-0 and this Charlie Taylor to be booked. In fact, bets on my phone, so I can't even have a look at it. I need someone who I trust in the chat to tell me if Taylor has been booked for Burnley or not. Please. Because I've seen someone put Scousers 2-0, fuck's sake. Yeah, and then I will crack on with my my comments. Crack on with my what I was talking about. The stadium should not be knocked down. I'll go mad if that happens. To many good memories at Old Trafford. I agree with you, MUFC. Billy Valance saying no, he hasn't. Oh, gutted, man. Gutted. Hopefully he gets a little yellow card there. Why? Has anyone else been booked for Burnley? Berg and Trent have been booked. Are they the only players? Ah, you bastard. Hopefully he gets a little yellow towards it. I wish I had it on. Why have I not got it on here, actually? I'm sure I've got Prime Video. Let me just bang this on. Because I can't miss that, can I? You know what I mean? Anyway, I was talking about the United ownership. My lighting's just changed. With Dave Brailsford spoke about that. Jean-Claude Blanc spoke about that. Paul Mitchell as well as another name. He's been mentioned. Dan Ashworth as well. So these are all like, in their respectful right, top people in football, like some of the best that you can get. Paul Mitchell's resume is fantastic, from the work that he'd done at Southampton, the work that he'd done even when he was at MK Dons, bringing players like Dele Alli, Alan Smith as well. Who was there? I can't remember who else it was. His work at Southampton, some of the players he brought through there, then Leipzig, and then he's just done really, really well. At any club he's been at. And obviously, I think his family's moved back to Manchester, or there was something along the lines of that. So he's available. I think he's waiting in the wings. Dan Ashford as well is going to be a bit more of a difficult one to get over, simply because he's in a contract with Newcastle. I think it's going to cost like 9 million to Thinger. So yeah, let me have a look. Sorry, I'm just getting this game up. Where the fuck? Let me get sports up. Live Premier League. I need to see this game. I can't miss this game. Oh, for God's sake. Right, someone's have to keep me updated because it's not, for whatever reason, it's not coming on. That is pissing me off. Oh, we have gifted 5 Real Red Talk memberships. So, big up you legends. That's for you guys. Charlie Malman, you've been gifted a membership, so you free content. We're going to drop quite a few videos because the past couple of weeks been mad busy with Christmas and stuff. So, you're going to get loads of exclusive content on there. So, that's Charlie Malman. Shreyas has been gifted one. Kirk Howcroft was gifted a membership. It's random, by the way. We don't pick him. It's just random. You've got Simon Davis as well. You've been gifted a membership. And Daryl as well. You've been gifted a membership, I think. So, yeah, you are all now, whether you liked it or not, Real Red members. So, congratulations. Yeah. Exclusive content, badge 16 name, and a chance to feature on the show as well. So, big up to you lot, Real Red members. That's just been randomly gifted. I don't know if Sam sanctioned that or whatever, but yeah, you're welcome for the gift. You're all legends for tuning into content consistently, so I appreciate every single one of you. Right, where was he at? I really need to check this game, so people on TikTok, you have to bear with me a sec. Let me get this game up. Because if I miss out on 200 quid just because of a booking, that is ridiculous. 94th minute. Ugh. That is horrible. How bad is that? I got the score right. I got one of the players that I put on to get booked has been booked. I just want him to just kick someone. Do you know what I mean? Let me have a look. What are we saying? Dara O'Shea. Right, I'm going to keep an eye on that. I mean, if it happens, it happens. But yeah. Donny out, McTominay out, Garnacho. The rest says Lucky Singh. The Capybara army stronger. Capybaras needs to make a comeback, doesn't it? That became a thing, and then we just stopped for whatever reason. Stopped doing it. I don't know why. I think Discord removed the what do you call it? The sound board. I don't know why. We used to have loads of fun with that. When Onana signed, you had Rihanna on repeat, you had the Capybaras, you had the Nevilles, you had fucking everything whatsoever. So I'm actually doing a watch along for this last bit of the the thingy game. What do you call it? The Liverpool game. I need him to get a foul, but we're in the 95th minute, 44 seconds. Who else has been booked? Trent, Sanderberg, and Dara O'Shea are the only ones. Yeah. Right. Let's go back onto TikTok. We're back. Okay, right. Back to the United game. Sorry, I got distracted there. Right, I'm going to talk about Aston Villa a little bit because I've been speaking about United quite a lot. Of course, managed by the infamous Unai Emery, has done a fantastic job there. Currently 3rd in the league. Ones to watch, you're talking Ollie Watkins, 9 goals in the Premier League so far. I mentioned before about McGinn and Douglas Luiz have been playing out of their skin. Some of the best Premier League midfielders this year, and I'm not just saying that lightly. They really have been. They've been fantastic if you've watched Villa consistently. Really, really good. Diaby as well, top signing. I mean, as a runner, he's scary as fuck. You have to have really competent, defensive-minded players on the pitch to deal with him, and who have a bit of pace. So that's why I'm glad players like Varane are back in, Wan-Bissaka equally as well. I think, yeah, he's going to be a tricky customer to deal with. 11 points ahead of us in 3rd position at the moment. That's where Manchester United are at the moment. You know, 11 points, ahead of us. Aston Villa are 11 points ahead of us in 3rd. And it'll be 14 points if we lose this game. We'll be 14 points behind Aston Villa. That is crazy. Regardless of how good of a season they've had, we should never, ever be 14 points behind Aston Villa. Ever. All due respect. I know they've been amazing. I know they've been really good. I'm not slagging them off. They've been fantastic. But it's just a shocking stat on our behalf, at least. Wins. So they've played 18 matches. They've won 12 of them, and they've beat Arsenal, City, and Spurs in that run. They've only got 3 losses this season, and they've all been away to Liverpool, Forest, and Newcastle. They've scored 38 goals and they've conceded 22 and had 4 clean sheets. So they don't have that many clean sheets. They do concede. You can get at them. But the firepower, I mentioned it there, 38 goals is pretty good. That's when you start to compare it to ours, okay, which isn't great at all. So we've played 18 games. We've won 9. We've lost 8. We've scored 18 goals. So Luton have now scored more goals than us now. Luton have scored more goals. Like, oh, fuck's sake. We really, really struggle on that front. Goals conceded 23. So we only conceded one more goal than Villa. But we've got more clean sheets than Villa, which is a bit strange, isn't it? But 6 clean sheets we've got. In the last game against Sheffield, where they drew, again, they was away from home. Their away form isn't amazing, which is, if you need something to fucking grab onto, then take that. They had Martinez, Cash, Konza, Longley, Digne, Bailly, or Bailey, whatever you want to call him, McGinn, Louise, Ramsey, Diaby, and Watkins. I've not pulled up the team that they've got today, but let me have a look. Let's see who they have got. Unless someone wants to put it in the chat, Aston Villa's team, and then we can go through it together. I'm guessing it's not going to be too far away from that because I know they have got a couple of injuries. But you know what you're going to get from him. You're going to get extremely organised, hardworking, great intensity, very quick on the ball. They can murder your transitional team, one of the best in the league for me personally. And they defend really well as a unit, so they're hard to break down. And they've got much more quality than West Ham. So if you think about that game, in spells against West Ham when they had the opportunity to kill us, even though the players they have 1v1 like Bowen, Kudus, these kind of guys, I think Watkins and Diaby are just proper difficult to deal with. So, right, thank you to Charlie Malman, who's now a new Real Red Ultra. If you want to become a member, by the way, click the link in the bio or click the join button next to the notification bell for exclusive content, a badge next to your name, and a chance to feature on the show. I have mentioned for the past 2 weeks, obviously with it being Christmas and stuff, it's been mad busy, but we're going to make up for that. And we're going to do quite a few members videos, I promise you. And don't worry about that. So yeah, Jolly is a new member saying Martinez, Konza, Diego Carlos, Longley, Digne. So Carlos comes in for Konza. McGinn, Dendonka, Louise, Ramsey, Bailey, and Watkins. Oh, so no Diaby. Interesting. I mean, Bailey equally 1v1 is a very tricky customer. I'm going to take his cap off because it feels like it's suffocating my head, man. Fuck off. Jesus. Right, yeah, got a bit of hot air there, a bit mad. Yeah, no way, Diaby on the bench. There's me going on like, Diaby, tricky customer, 1v1, he's going to sort his out, la la la. And he's not, yeah, he's on he's on the bench, not even starting. So, yeah, but likewise with Bailly, I think he could be very difficult. I think, didn't they both come from the same team? Correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't they both come from Leverkusen? Diaby and Bailey, which is interesting. Maybe they might have a little secret scout relationship with him. Who knows? So, yeah. I think if you all remember under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, the game or the start of the run when he eventually lost his job, I'm not saying it's going to go the same way for Erik ten Hag, but he lost against Villa, didn't he? If someone can get the list or the run of fixtures, just remember this is a challenge for you. Yeah, don't go googling it or anything like that. What was the 5 games Ollie had in the run up to being sacked? So the 5 games just before he got sacked. Can anyone remember it? And can anyone remember the score lines as well? Because Villa was one of them. So do you remember the last 5 games? Let's see if anyone can get that. Let's test people's knowledge. I mean, there's going to be people on Google like that. I'll shout, Alexa, Alexa. Don't be doing none of that. I just want to see just general knowledge straight off the bat. Go. Let's see. Let's have a look. I only remember Liverpool. That was the nail in the coffin. Well, yeah, that's the obvious one, isn't it? You're going to remember. Horrible game. Horrible. I mean, it was all fucking horrible. Watford. Yeah, Watford was in there as well. So Villa, Watford, Liverpool. Can I remember the other 2 teams in the run-up? Let's see. No one in TikTok's mentioned it yet at all. So YouTube are beating TikTok here. Make sure you are subscribing to Real Red Talk, by the way. If you're just joining the channel and you're new, you don't know what this channel is. We do pre-match build-ups, review after the game as well. So as soon as the United game finishes, we'll be on with a couple of the lads talking about it. We have news shows. We have guests on. Yeah, we do loads of shit. So make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. No one else in TikTok? No one can get it? Really? Come on. Knowledge out there. What's going on? I'm gutted about that bet, you know. Gutted. I had Liverpool to win 2-0, Sanderberg to get booked, and Taylor to get booked as well for 200 quid, and just missed out on one booking. It's always the one booking. It's always the yellow card. I think in regards to going back to before, I think Leicester, yeah, Leicester was on there as well. So you had Leicester, Villa, Liverpool, Watford, and there's one more team. One more team. Who are you missing? in that run to when Ollie got sacked. Who can remember? Who can remember? City, yeah. What score was that City game now? I'm trying to think. Was it City? Was that near the thingy though? Blocked it out of my memory. Was it 2-0? Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it feels like a long, long time ago now, doesn't it? Long, long time ago. Silva scored, yeah. Yeah. But I'm not suggesting, history is going to rewrite itself. But we have been in this position, we lost 3-0 to Bournemouth. We lost to Bayern Munich. We lost to, who was after Bayern Munich? What game was after Bayern Munich? It was Bournemouth, Bayern, Liverpool, obviously, of course, 0 at Anfield. And then, obviously, the most recent one as well, we lost 2-0 to West Ham. So we failed to score in 4 games, United. Failed to score in 4 games. Nuts. Absolutely nuts. So I'm hoping we score today. If you can't score on Boxing Day, we are well and truly fucked. We're fucked already. But if you can't score on Boxing Day, or at least put in half a performance, this is the people's day today, isn't it? Boxing Day. Everyone loves it. Sits back, accumulators, watching it with your mates at the pub, whatever. Give us a good game today, United. Put in a good performance. The result-wise, I don't think we're going to win. I don't. But, this might sound a bit defeatist, but I just want to see a good performance from the team. Because everyone thought, after the Chelsea game, it's like, oh, okay, not a bad performance. Let's kick on from that. And then just since that game, just again, capitulation. So this team can turn up, even though Chelsea are a shit team. They can play well, but it's only in bits, in spells, in patterns, in moments. We've been called Moments FC for years, man. So it's no surprise. It's happened under another manager again. I look at that lineup today, right? So Højlund, he brought in. Obviously, Erik ten Hag brought in. Rashford, he didn't. Garnacho, we didn't. Bruno, we didn't. Mainly, we didn't buy. Eriksen, he bought in. Varane, he didn't. Evans, he brought in. It's like, 3 players, I think, who he's brought in. Oh, no, Onana as well. Sorry, 4. You know what I mean? So he's still not got a full team who he's brought in. I know we're missing significant players like Mount and Casemiro and Sandro Martinez and these kind of guys. But it's similar players, I'm interested to see how Marcus Rashford gets on today because he's done nothing all season. And that's not even taking a piss. It's just like he just hasn't. When Rashford doesn't score, he doesn't contribute to a game whatsoever. He doesn't create chances. He doesn't link play. He's either a killer in front of goal and he can just, with his feet, 1v1, just blitz, man. Or he can just run into like blind alleys, not create, and get frustrated. They are quite literally the 2 sides of Marcus Rashford. One side, ruthless, killer, can run at people, cause problems. That's what we got for maybe 6 months last season. This season, we're getting the one who's just looks miserable all the time, doesn't like running at people necessarily, doesn't track back, and fails to beat a man. That is the Marcus Rashford that we've got this season. We need him to turn up. He's capable of doing it, but if these performances continue now, for the next season or so, the rest of the season, sorry, you have to look at it like what are we going to do with Rashford? Do you know what I mean? What are we going to do with Rashford? I don't know because I love him from Manchester, but that only runs so far. When you're putting in performances that he's been doing, we need him to turn up. You look at the wingers in the Premier League who are doing it consistently. He's no way near them. No way near him. So, yeah. Merry Christmas from UTFR. Big up to UTFR. Merry Christmas to you as well, mate. I hope you enjoyed it and spent time with your family. Shreya saying exactly, just want to see a positive performance. Lucky Singh saying Newcastle United, Chelsea done season. Newcastle's an interesting one, isn't it? Because if you look at all the shit that Erik ten Hag is getting, where's the same level of criticism for Eddie Howe? Why is he not getting the same level of shit? It's because is it because he's British? The media darling him a little bit more? Like, what's going on? Someone tell me the logic in that. Because he's getting... I know United's a huge club, but Newcastle's a massive club as well, don't forget. And they've still spent money. I'm not having this argument that, Newcastle like United. I'm not having that. Not at all. That's absolute bollocks. How is under big pressure? We've been poor for weeks. Yeah, I only appreciate. Look, fans will obviously be demanding more. I'm saying more from the media side of things. Do you know what I mean? Like, I know the fans will demand a certain level of standard. I get that, but I'm just on about certain media outlets when it comes to Manchester United. I mean, some of the articles that were getting released a couple of months ago about Onana dropping his keys in the car park. You're just like, does that happen at any other football club? I'd love to know. I would love to know. Like, the pressure from the media is just next level at United. I'd sell him and get Kvaratskhelia. Wow, ruthless Shreyas there. I wish, mate, I'm in Belfast working. Oh, wow. Well, don't work too hard then, UTFR. Oh, Howie's getting the same from Newcastle fans now. Yeah, I guess what I get the fans, 100%. Yeah, I get that. But, yeah. Lucky seeing Chelsea buying new players, January and another new manager. Tornado Zach versus Connor says, was it Everton? Was what Everton? Confused. I'm confused. If Højlund had service into the box, I reckon we'd be up there. That's what I mean. Just literally no service whatsoever. It's called the Dan shift, right? Because the lad on the channel who we love and respect, Dan, does a shift from 2 till 10. And anyone who's worked them kind of shifts before, I've done it years and years ago, but anyone who's worked them kind of shifts before know they are the worst ones. And that is what we call the Højlund shift, Dan shift. 2 o'clock till 10 p.m. Just fucking the worst one. These wingers need to start providing. Bruno Fernandes as well. I have a slight issue with the manager when he decides to drop Bruno back to accommodate for Scott crashing late into the box to try and get a goal. Because when you remove Bruno from where he's best at, which is creativity, he isn't providing for the striker. When he was closer to the striker, look at the goal he scored against Galatasaray. That was when he was more playing as a 10, more near the edge of the box, more linking play. Garnacho's goal as well, he was involved in that. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, he needs to be closer. His positional discipline as well, it bugs the life out of me. Because sometimes, yeah, I get you working hard for the team, you're putting a shift in, and you can't knock that at all because some of the players don't even do that. They should be the core basics of a player at United. But sometimes you see him at left back and we'll get the ball forward and he's like struggling to get back up to get in position. And you're like, you shouldn't be there, mate. You should be in that 10 spot, ready to receive it on the half turn to play Højlund in. You know, I know people slagged Ollie off and I know the tactics were horrendous. But the one thing about Bruno was in that team, when he got it on the half turn, he was ready to feed Rashford or he was ready to feed whoever it was running behind, a Martial, a Greenwood, whoever. I don't feel like you have that with Bruno in a minute. I feel like he's just kind of floating here, there, everywhere and not being impactful in the most important part of the pitch, despite what stats may say. Stats may say, you know, he's created 53 chances this season or whatever it is. That's fine, but I haven't seen it with my own eyes. I don't see him feeding the ball enough through to Højlund. There was one time in the last game where I think he went for the fake shot and played him in. And that was like, I felt like that was one of the first times I've ever seen him actually pass to Højlund because the wingers aren't doing it either. So I feel sorry for this kid because he is talented. He's still raw, of course. He's still got a bit to do, but I feel like he will be a good striker. I feel like if you put him in a settled system now where there's chance creation around him, he'd bag goals. I'm absolutely like sure of that. But it's tough in this United team at the minute. So this guy here, people can't see it on YouTube. This guy here and this guy here and this guy here need to feed him. Yeah. Højlund's going to be a min. I agree. I think it'd be good. But the longer this goes on, this Premier League drought, you know what strikers are like for confidence when they're not getting goals. You know, the memes are getting made of him. That guy, only us can. I don't know the lyrics to that, but come on, Højlund, Rasmus, you've got this, man. You need a miracle. You know exactly what I'm on about. It'll just keep happening and keep happening and keep happening. And yeah, pressure will go. And then TalkSport are ready right now with a pen and paper with Højlund on it after this game. I guarantee. Gabriel Bongo, don't forget, Aston Villa player. You can guarantee he's going to chime in with some bullshit after this game when we lose. If we lose, should I say, not when we lose, Jesus. But you know he's ready there with a pen and paper going, oh, right then. Gets his pen out. There's his piece of paper. Right, what should we write then? Right, I've already said Webster's better than Raphael Varane, so you can't say that. Højlund, yeah. Worst signing ever. Højlund. I don't get what he does. I just don't get what he does. Højlund. What does he do? Guarantee that tonight. Remember me saying this and come back to this video. Talk sport tonight. Gabriel Wang Lahore talking nonsense. Utter nonsense. Anyhow, he'll be mint, but not for United. Nick, Chelsea fans getting new players and another new manager coming in January. I mean, I can't see him get rid of Poch, to be honest. I don't think they'll get rid of Poch. I mean, they'll at least, I think, like United, I think they'll wait until the end of the season before they make a decision on that. I think they'll stick with Poch because Chelsea has been a nightmare for a few years now. So I can't see him just fucking Poch off. I can't. I know that the results have been really, really bad, but I just don't think they'll get rid of him, to be honest. January, I mean, fuck knows how much they're going to spend in Jan. How can they keep doing this in terms of FFP? That they've spent a ridiculous amount of money under Todd Bowley, and I'm sure the wages aren't cheap either. So, yeah. Everyone's praying in the chat for Højlund supply. Let's hope he gets one, because I think it's going to be as simple as once he scores, I think it'll come then. I do. But equally, the longer it goes on, the more I'm just going to be like, fucking hell. United tactical talk with a question saying score prediction. I was going to save it until 5 minutes, but I can give you my score prediction now. Do you want a realistic score prediction? Or do you want me to go with my heart, or do you want me to go with my head? I suppose is what I'm saying. You tell me. Because I'll give you my realistic one, which you probably won't like. But I'll give you one that I'm at least hopeful for. Heart. You want me to go with my heart? Well, if you want me to go with my heart, I'll say a very, very tough, lucky game, and we win 2-1. If we turn up. I think the players on the pitch are capable of doing it in moments. But I think you're going to need a lot of luck on your side to get that kind of result. If you want me to go in my head, if you look at the Bournemouth game and you look at the West Ham game, we conceded 5 goals in them two alone. Aston Villa are a far better team than both of them. So would it be against logic to say that this could be another 2-0 or a 3-0? I don't think so. It's like Sam's literally just put it in the chat there, 3-0. People will call me an idiot. They might say pessimistic, whatever. That's just the reality. I'm not being like negative. That is the reality of the situation that we are currently in. I'm sorry, but it is the way it is. You can't say it, when you get smashed off Bournemouth, smashed off West Ham, and well, not smashed, but the last 20 minutes was basically smashed. Villa are a solid team. I've just mentioned at the start of the show, they beat City, they beat Arsenal in the same week, pretty much, and they beat Spurs. Someone's just put UK Carp saying Watkins going to dog walk Evans tonight. It could easily happen. Easily happen. Someone's put 4-2 United. I mean, a fair play, lad. If you want to go with that, that's absolutely fine. KO says we are shocking. It's the players who are letting us down. Yeah, I agree with that. The players have to take accountability sometimes. You know what I mean? Like, people will keep asking for the manager to change. Keep changing this, changing that, changing that. Like, how many times do you want to keep changing the managers before you get rid of some of your favourite players? Because let's be honest, it's getting to that point. I said on the video multiple times, if we need to get rid of some of the players who I like to move forward for the better of the team, do it. Do it. I'm looking at our squad now, and there's only a handful of players I'd probably keep, to be honest with you. If I'm being like certain on players I want to keep, yes, Xavi Simons is the goal. Long time no see. I hope you're good, brother. What a legend. But yeah, if these players want to keep Lissandro, Shaw, Kobe Mainu, maybe Bruno, but he needs to sort a couple of things out. Garnacho, Højlund, Ahmad, but I need to see Ahmad first a little bit more. The rest, honestly, I'd like, nah. Rashford, I mean, I've lost my patience with Marcus Rashford. I really, really have. It's only so long you can, he's from the academy. He's from Manchester. He'll come good. He had a bad season last season. Let's just stop making excuses for our favourite players and let's just call a spade a spade. Rashford is a purple patch player. He isn't consistent. Bruno lacks discipline in areas, positional discipline, more to the point. He can throw his toys out of a pram, which affects the rest of the team. I think Maguire has been in very good form for us, but if you want to play a certain style, if you want to play high up the pitch, I don't think he's that guy that's kind of centre back, but I think he could go to West Ham or an Everton and be a fantastic player and probably be the captain for him. Again, my opinion. Onana, I liked the move for Onana, ball playing goalkeeper. We're yet to see that really, because one, he's made a lot of mistakes, and two, the players that have been in front of him, he can't really play out from the back with. So, it's I don't know. I'm confused. Like, there's a lot of players. There's a lot of question marks over players. But again, because of how many injuries we've got, have we yet to see our best 11 play on a consistent basis? I don't think we have we? So, yeah, I'm just a bit gutted, to be honest. But I think Sir Jim Ratcliffe and INEOS have got a fucking massive job to do. I really, really do think they've got so much work and players to move on and staff to move on and just a shitload of work. So, like they say, Rome weren't built in a day. I hope he does well, but I'm not entirely sure that he's just going to come in, wave a magic wand, and everything's going to be fantastic again. So, Højlund Garnacho, Ahmad, has he actually played for us? No, Ahmad hasn't. He's played a couple of games. He scored against AC Milan in the Europa League under Ole. But apart from that, he's been on loan at Rangers. Didn't really work out there. Then went and killed it at Sunderland and then got injured in pre-season. So I was a little bit gutted about that because I wanted to see him. But you can't argue. You look at Anthony where he's performing now, or when Rashford comes in on the right-hand side. Why not play Ahmad? You know what I mean? Why not? Where is Mount? He's injured. Yeah, should be back in a couple of weeks. I think 2 weeks' time or a week's time. And then Lissandro should be back mid-January. And I think Casemiro's back in February. So, yeah. Just in time to push for that Europa League spot. You know what I'm saying? Please do subscribe to Real Reds Talk if you haven't yet, if you're on TikTok or if you're on YouTube. We're going to have a live review after the game with the lads. So come and join us and get your opinions in. I'm going to head off shortly, but I'll read out a few more comments. And then, yeah, go watch the game. Come and join us after the game. Let's see what people are saying. Lucky Singh saying Pau Torres out along Boubacar. Yep. Sam saying as RVP brought his boots. I know, what a shout, because he's at the game tonight, innit? Oh my God. Yeah. But then would he get service? No. Do you remember what Fergie said actually about RVP? If you don't pass, if you don't get the ball to this guy, you're not playing. Said it to Scholes, said it to like Carrick, said it to all these guys. But I'd advise the same thing tonight. Flex Felix says this game was lost as soon as I saw Rashford on the right wing. He's useless there. I'd rather try Palistri. That's a fair point. Lucky Singh saying Donny van der Beek, McTominay, Rashford, Jaden will leave in January. I think he's alluding to. I don't think Rashford will leave in January. And UTFR, I think that is a sign of peace that he might be leaving. So big up to UTFR. Always tunes into the shows, man. What a legend. Tenag out, Big Sam in, says Daddy of 3 Greys. Roy Hodgson at the wheel. Wow. People going in. You always get rival fans on TikTok, innit? So I could take the banter. It's all right. Nick, important passing services need to be in. I think I agree with you. I don't know. Anyway, I've gone with my heart score prediction. Is saying 2-1, a very tricky game, but we just get through it. My head's saying probably 3-0 Villa. So yeah. How's Bruno been this season? Not that good. In my opinion, he's been okay. But like I mentioned before, he struggles with positional discipline. He whines a bit too much. Like he gets himself. But that one before the Liverpool game really pissed me off. So he's got he's got some things to amend. But there's been other players that have been a lot fucking worse. So is Varane playing? Yeah, Varane's playing. Varane's at the back. The team's there. Look, anyone who's asking for the team, it's all there on TikTok. Sorry, guys, on YouTube, you can't see it. That is the lineup behind me. For anyone who's asking. So hopefully you've seen that. And yeah. Varane going back to Madrid. No, I think Madrid have already come out and said and they're not looking at him for, I think someone got injured, didn't they? It was Alaba for Madrid. So yeah, anyway, subscribe to Real Reds Talk. Come and join us after the game for the review. Leave a like in the video for us if you can. Drop us a follow on TikTok if you're not following me already, or follow the channel. Loads of lads on there, wonderful content, all the good stuff. Everything you want from a fan channel is on there. So please do come and join us. Help us reach 4K on YouTube, and we'll speak to you after the game. Yeah, take care, everyone. Let's go smash Villa, and if we can chat about the game that we've won and played well, how amazing would that be, right? Let's hope we can do that. I'll chat to you after the game, people. Legends. See you in a bit. See you in a bit, boys. Come on, United.